Hey everyone, how y'all doing? I got a cool knife to look at today. This is my son's knife. His wife's grandfather gave it to him. Pretty awesome gift. There's a lot to talk about with this knife in Crkt. This is the second time I'm doing this video. I did it yesterday and it was 37 minutes long because I kind of kept ranting about Crkt. So my rant about Crkt, do it now, get it out of the way, is Crkt, they collab with a lot of, great designers. And this is a Kit Carson design, kind of in the family of the M16, but Crkt has some of the coolest knives, innovative designs. This has the deadbolt lock system, and just an awesome looking knife. It's done really nice, but then they skimp on the blade steel or the handle materials, and it falls short. Yeah, I'd love some of Crkt's knives, but man, when they throw an awesome knife at you and it's got 4116 steel or less than 8 CR, 5 CR, 15 MOV, like on most of the minimalists, it's a letdown. But that's my opinion. I'll let that rest. But this is a cool knife. This is the M40-03 Deadbolt lock tactical folding knife. And it's tactical looking, right? Pretty cool looking. I really like this. This isn't really a budget knife as far as I'm concerned. This thing runs between $90 and $110. It's $110 on BladeHQ right now, in stock. I checked Smoky Mountain Knife Works. It was listed at $90 out of stock, and Knife Center had it for about $100 out of stock. He may have bought this at Sportsman's Warehouse. They carry Crkt's. A lot of sporting good big box stores carry Crkt. Walmart carries few. So they, easily available to people. The average Joe that walks in needs a knife. I'm going off again on Crkt, but the average Joe that walks in wants a cool knife. And most of them are, affordable. This is getting up there. They buy them, It doesn't have super steel or titanium bolt, frame, anything, right? Other than the cool deadbolt lock, that's about the best feature. But yeah, like I said, a couple places I seen it was out of stock. I don't know if they're being discontinued or they're just out of stock, but this kind of floats your boat. I'd go shopping around and see if I can pick one up, because it's an awesome knife. So yeah, we'll go over the specs, some of the special features about this, because there's some cool features on this knife. Take a closer look on the side camera so you can see it better. Do some size comparisons and kind of pros and cons. This is going to be a longer video. Hopefully it's not as long as the first one I did. It was way too long. But yeah, so with this, you got an overall length of 8 inches. You got a 3.5 inch blade. And that's good size for me. The blade width is pretty short, it's 1 inch. The blade thickness is a little thicker than average, 0.14. It is a hollow grind. You can see it's a spear point blade, so the grind only goes about halfway up. You got a very short distance, half an inch, to thin it out, which is good that they did a hollow grind. Bead blast finish, and it looks really nice. This knife obviously hasn't been used much, but I guess bead blast on the blade promotes rusting, corrosion more than a stone wash or an acid wash. That's what I've heard. I'm not 100% sure on it. Blade steel, like I said, has a little bit to be little to be desired, but I see reasons for it. It is 4116 stainless or 1.4116, however you want to say it. Let's get the steel talk out of the way. 4116 is a stainless steel. It's not super hard. Doesn't have, all that great edge retention, but it's a tough steel. The edge is going to roll or flatten out. You're not going to get big chips out of this. It thins down pretty much at the tip, but it's going to be more durable. I mean, I wouldn't hesitate to stick this in a piece of wood and, drill a hole if I needed to. Definitely do the job. For the price, $100, give or take 10 either way. I think it could have been better steel, but 4116, like I said, it's stainless, it's tough, it just won't hold an edge as good as some other steels, right? So, enough. That's all I'm going to say about the steel, kinda. I'll actually get back to it. But anyways, get to the handle. Overall, the handle from the end to the end here is 4.5 inches. You have about a 3 3/4 inch grip area, because you got this flipper tab which works as a finger guard. Handle thickness, it's a little thicker than average at 0.57. So even though it's short, it's only 1.125 inches, this way. Being a little thicker, fits in my hand good. You get good grip on it. It fills my hand. Handle materials, you have aluminum bolsters up here. This is GFN, and when we get a closer look, try to show the pattern better, but it's done really well. I like it. It's cool looking, almost resembles carbon fiber, but it's not, and it does add just enough texturing in it. It does add to the grip. So I really don't have a problem with the GFN scales. Carry, it's got a semi-deep carry pocket clip. It's not super deep. You have the little shark fin pocket shark sticking out of your pocket. It's reversible left hand and right hand, so that's cool. The clip is recessed into the scale, and it's got only one screw, little button head, which doesn't stick up very much. So I haven't had a problem with my pocket hem catching on that or anything. Could have been flathead. Like I said, it is reversible, and they have a filler tab. on the opposite side with one little screw. That's a T6. The body screw is a T6. Yeah, so I think that's all the specs. Talk about the features, okay? Another thing Crkt did in 2022 came out with a bunch of knives. They're assisted opening. This knife came out in 2020, so it's a manual flipper, which is good. And one of the main features is this deadbolt lock system, which is kind of like a, I don't know, plunge lock, button lock. It's pretty robust. The lock is designed by Flavio Icoma. I think I'm saying his last name right. There's a video on YouTube with Flavio Icoma explaining this lock. I mean, he shows it, all the parts and pieces. I think it's a Crkt video. Check that out. It's pretty cool lock. Very innovative. Again, Crkt, very innovative designs and locks and stuff. Then they skimp on something every time. So pretty cool. It's a cool lock. I mean, it's solid. There's absolutely no blade play. Up, down, left, right, no matter how you do it. So that's awesome. I like that. I like that lock. Another cool thing is right here, there's a small hole. That is to adjust the detent. Takes a T6 bit, and you can lighten the detent, or you can make the detent heavier. And I kind of turned it, made it heavier. It's not drop shutty. I failed opening it, but it's not drop shutty. It might break in a little bit. I think it's because the way the lock is, but I tightened it, or I made the detent heavier, so it flips better. I was failing it every so often. So that's a cool feature. I've not seen a knife that you could do that, so that's cool. I don't know how that works, because here's the hole, and it looks like the detent ball is sticking down right here, but that doesn't touch anything. You open the blade's open, it's not near it. Close, it's not near it. So I don't know how that works. I would love to tear this thing apart and check it out, everything out. Someday I will. You'll dull it. It'll be filthy. I'll sharpen it, clean it up for him. I'll tear it apart. When I do, I'll do a video on it. But yeah, awesome lock. It's cool. You can adjust the detent. Yeah. Other features. The pocket clip. It's great. It's right hand, left hand, adjustable. They almost got it with the way it's mounted. They recessed the pocket clip, but they still have a screw sticking up, and there's only one screw. It's easier to lose one screw than two screws. So I don't know. My judgment's out on that one. Besides being a flipper, it does have thumb studs. Now, the thumb studs double. I guess they're mainly for the blades. They're the blade stops. So you can see right here, they hit up against the frame. That's the blade stop. And then closed, this part right here, they seat into that. You can thumb flick it. Fairly easy. So when you do thumb flick it, it rockets right out. let's take a closer look real fast, do some size comparisons. I'll get into pros and cons. Check that blade out. That's a cool blade. Spear point. The finish is pretty nice. It looks good. On the back side, you have the M40-03 Kit Carson, the US patent number. Oh, I didn't say there's a symbol for CRKT's IKBS bearings. So the pivot is on bearings. Very smooth, but it's not drop shutty. Here is the deadbolt lock. And that's pretty cool looking. I like how they did that. And on the back side, you can see this part actually pushes out to unlock. And this part right here has two prongs on it that lock it in place. So when you push it, you're pushing those prongs out to unlock it. And yeah, it's a solid locking system. It's pretty cool. Aluminum bolsters, they look pretty cool. Back on this part, that is cool looking. I like that. The knurling up here matches the knurling on the thumb studs. Oops. Here we got the GFN, and you can see, try to get it to focus. There we go. You can see how it's machined, and you have that carbon fiber look, the black checks and lighter gray checks. Stainless steel frame or liners, they're milled out, so reduces the weight a little bit. The way it's done, the liners kind of shadow box the handles and the bolsters, but up here you can see how it kind of has to for the thumb studs to act like the blade stops. Yeah, pocket clip. Got their CRKT logo on there. And yeah, that little button head screw is not bad. It doesn't stick up much. I have had no problem with this thing going in on my pocket. There was only one screw instead of two. I kind of just don't trust the one screw. Barrel spacers back here. Yeah, I think it's a good looking knife. I always say I wear extra large size gloves. My hand, it fits my hand just about right. This huge flipper tab acts as an awesome finger guard. You're not going to slide up on a blade. And back on the ricasso area, you got enough room you can actually choke up on it. So that's cool. But yeah, that's a little closer look at it. Do some size comparisons real fast. Start out with a Benchmade 940 Osborne. They're pretty close in length, overall length, blade length. Kind of similar design, you know, as far as the handle, and a short blade with, you know, thicker blade stock, a short grind. The 940 is a flat grind. This is a hollow. Neither one of these are excellent slicers. They're both sharp, so they do cut anything you want, but it's not going to be as slicey as, say, a PM2 or something. It's a full flat grind, you know, with a tall blade. But both feel good in hand. So that's a 940. Let's put it up against, a couple of my more tactical looking knives. How about the Cold Steel AD-15 Light. The M40 is a lot shorter, a lot skinnier this way. This has a taller blade, flat grind. This is OS 10A. This has an innovative locking system, the Scorpion lock. That's pretty cool. I like something different like this. Deadbolt locks I think is cool. How about the the Sig Sauer K320 Nitron made by Hogue. This one's a Knife Center exclusive. Overall length, they're pretty close, but you can see this is a lot taller blade, taller handle, blade or handle thickness, pretty close. So yeah, I think this is definitely more tactical. And let's do, I didn't get it out. Oh, there goes my light. How about the Benchmade Mini Presidio 2? This is in Benchmade's black class. You can see, even though this is a mini, this is still a full-size knife. But the M40's quite a bit longer. Couple of standards. Benchmade bug out, full-size bug out. M40's quite a bit longer. Spectacle PM2, definitely shorter than PM2. PM2 is a full flat grind, thinner behind the edge, better slicer than this one for sure. How about the knife I'm carrying today, which is the Crescent 3.5 inch flipper my son got me for Christmas. It's semi-tactical looking with a little harpoon. They call it a harpoon blade. This is hollow grind also, a little taller grind. Kind of thick behind the edge. It's got pretty thick blade stock. Plastic handles of some kind. It's pretty heavy. Heavy duty liners. Great action on this. This knife has 5CR15 MOV steel. Costs about 20 bucks. Heavy. This is 5.2 ounces. I didn't say. The CRKT is 4.2 ounces. But both are cool looking knives. They're just lacking on the steel choice, you know, steel a little bit. How about a CRKT? Now, this is a CRKT that I like. I really like. And that is the Pilar 3, which you can see is quite a bit smaller. But the thing is, this is a D2 version of it. A lot better edge retention on this than this. This is not stainless. It will corrode. This is, I guess, from what I understand, pretty good stainless steel. G10 scale, GFN, the stainless steel frame lock. Action on this. Oh, got my finger in the way. It's pretty awesome. Rides on the same bearings as this one. So that's that. Now, this is still going to be a long video, but go over the pros and cons, okay? The design of this. is pretty awesome. I love it. I think it's just a cool looking knife. The spear point, I like spear points on some knives. I love it on this one. The deadbolt lock is awesome. Very innovative. Seems to be really strong and sturdy. Like I said, no blade play at all. It does make it a little stiff. It's actually breaking in a little bit, so takes a little bit to close. It's not drop shutty. Rides on your bearings, IKBS bearings, which are extremely smooth. I mean, it is silky smooth. You don't feel the bearings rolling. You don't feel any grittiness, anything. It's just so nice and smooth. The adjustable detent, and I didn't really show it. Bring it back over here. Right there is the little hole, and a T6 just fits in there, and you can turn it either way. You can lighten the detent or make it heavier. I made it a little bit heavier. Yeah, so that's cool. I have not seen a knife that had a system like that where you can adjust the detent that easy. Yeah, so that's a cool feature. Pro. The reversible pocket clip is nice. You know, there's knives where they don't do that. You know, this is a budget knife. It's only right hand carry. The PLR3 is only right hand carry. Guess that's it that I got out. Everything else you can switch. So that's cool. Pocket clip works great. It's got good retention. I haven't had no issues going in and out of my pocket. Yeah. The 40-01-16 steel, again, I think could have been a better, more edge retention steel with better edge retention. But on the pro side, it's stainless. It's tough. You're not gonna be chipping the edge. You'll be flattening it, rolling it. It's a tough steel. It'll be easy to sharpen in the field, easy to maintain, because it's not as hard, right? As some steels, say the S30V, the D2. Most of these are S30V. I don't think it's as hard, as good as edge retention as I've noticed the OS 10A having. But yeah, so that's the pro. They'll be back on the con list. There's no blade play whatsoever. The GFN's cool looking. I like it. Could it be real carbon fiber or G10? Yeah, but it's done nice. I don't have an issue with FR and GF or GRN or polymer or stuff like that, personally. It is ambidextrous. I'd call it semi-ambidextrous. The flipper tab, left hand, right hand, you can get to. Pocket clip's reversible. The deadbolt lock is like a button lock, just on the opposite side. But the thing is, I can't do it left-handed. I have no problem right-handed. Left-handed, I can't. There, I had to most of the time I can't do it. And then operating the deadbolt lock, because it's not that free swinging, I can't do it. I have to use my middle finger, press it, and then close it. Now, if you're left-handed, I'm sure it's not going to be an issue. But for me, most of these knives I can operate, use left or right. This one I really can't. So, it is, but I call it a semi, so, because I can't do it. Con is, I can't operate this knife left-handed, like I just showed. The biggest con is really the materials for the money on this. This is $100, $90 to $110. Awesome design. Cool design, from a cool designer. Just an awesome looking knife. It's a tactical looking knife, but it's cool, tactical, and they kind of skimp. They do it all the time. They'll use subpar steel on something that should have a better steel. Subpar handle materials. A lot of people do not like FRN, GRN, plastic, polymer. They won't hold a knife that has handle scales, handles made out of that stuff. So that's a con for a lot of people. Now I could still go on and on about CRKT. Kind of have a love-hate relationship with it. Enough about that and the steel. The action, although I got it so I can flip it open easy now, right-handed. It's pretty stiff pivot, which is actually getting a lot better. It is breaking in. You couldn't do that before. So that's cool. It's breaking in. It's got, thick blade stock. And it's pretty thick behind the edge. It's such a short grind to thin it out. But the 940 is no slicing machine. It's pretty short blade. Actually, it's shorter than the CRKT. It has about the same distance to thin out, and this is a flat grind. Neither one is a super slicer, right? Kind of, they're not intended to be super slices. I'll get into that. Yeah, huge flipper tab on this thing. That's a heck of a pocket pecker, but it makes an awesome finger guard. We'll get more into that in a minute also. It's balanced good though. Put your finger right where it would be. Perfectly balanced. That's pretty cool. Handle's not heavy, or the blade's not heavy. It's pretty equal. So that's good. So yeah, with all that said though, with a thick blade and the spear point and thick behind the edge and the huge flipper tab that's still pretty large finger guard, you gotta stop and think. This is a tactical knife. That's what it was designed as. The M16s are tactical. Yeah, it's got a thicker blade stock. Got the swedge up there. It's almost like a false edge. It's pretty thin. It's not sharp, but it's pretty thin. Even the steel, 4116 is a tough steel. It's not going to chip as easy as the S30V D2. You're not gonna, it's not as brittle. It's not gonna hold an edge nearly as long as the other ones, but it'll be easy to sharpen, in the field, you know. So there's a reason these huge thumb studs, they're heck of a, you know, blade stops. The lock is strong. In my opinion, it's a strong locking system. Grip, the handle, neutral ergonomics. This little swell right here and this causes no issue. And the thing is, this is one, you can hold this in any grip whatsoever, and there's no hot spots. I mean, it feels just as good backwards as it does forward. Reverse grip like this, either way. Yeah, actually great ergos on this. And there's no, I didn't say, but there's no jimping on the blade, but back here there's some on the liners. That actually works. It works pretty good. It's not bad. It's not as, it's better. I'd say it grips better than like on a bug out, the jimping on the liners on that. Yeah, I mean, this thing, in my opinion, this thing, everything makes it to be a piercer, a stabber. I mean, no matter how you do it, you're not going to slide up on the blade. You can hold it any way you want. You know, I don't, you know, can you stab a car door with it? You probably get away with it one or two times, definitely. But yeah, you know, my opinion, this is designed as a tactical knife for tactical purposes. It's definitely a piercer, right? Self-defense. I mean, if you're trained in knife fighting, I'm sure this thing would be a pretty excellent self-defense tool. Yeah. Now, I like this knife. I can live with a 4116 steel for reasons. Love the design. Love it in hand. Would I buy one? Yeah, I'd love to have one. Would I pay $100 or more for it? No, because it could have better steel. That's the only complaint I have about it. Would I spend 50 to 75 bucks on it? All day. Yeah. If I could find it for 50 to 75 bucks, I'd buy one new. I wouldn't pay that much for a used one. But yeah, guess that'll do it. This dang video is even longer than the last one. I'll let you guys go. That's all I got on this knife. If this floats your boat, I'd go looking for one. Like I said, sold out a couple places that I checked. Don't know if it's discontinued or not. But it's pretty awesome looking knife. I like it. With that said, do the usual like, comment, subscribe. And until next video, bye.